I thought what we would do today is a little bit of upregulation, downregulation, get the nervous system energized, bring the energy down a little bit with obviously with breath and movement because that's what we're usually working on, but just really noticing the difference rather than just following exercises. So I know we do that anyway, but just really tuning into how you feel, what the difference feels from energizing, calming the nervous system. We should be live everywhere. That's good. So let us actually, before we do any movement, we can come up to standing, but just find a comfortable standing position. So ideally your feet usually are about hip width apart. Oh, so I stand on my spiky ball there. Feet are about hip width apart. And just find that balance with the feet, heels in contact with the ground, ball of the foot in contact with the ground. Maybe shifting the weight slightly forwards and backwards. Tall through the spine. And then just noticing how you're feeling, how the breath sits. Not changing anything, not trying to breathe in any particular way or feel anything in particular, just noticing the breath. Where do you maybe predominantly feel the breath? Nose is an easy place to notice it because you feel that clear physical sensation. Maybe bring awareness to the chest or the ribs or the back. And then just start some gentle movement. Let's do some shoulder rolls, just lifting and lowering. You may want to go slightly wider when we start to do that movement. It just gives you a more solid base of support. A little bit of bend in the knees, just breathing in and breathing out. Keeping the face relaxed, keeping the jaw relaxed. Make that breath deliberate. Keep it in and out through the nose. Feel how it's not just the shoulders moving, but that whole spine is involved. In fact, the whole body is involved. Changing direction when you're ready. How do the shoulder blades move? And then just taking a rest, little shake out. Let's do clapping hands. So a little bit of a stretch there through the palms and then diving down. Stretch as you spiral at the bottom. Let's breathe with this movement as well. So breathing in and breathing out. Keeping the breath calm, easy in and out through the nose, keeping the face, the jaw relaxed. Change direction when you're ready. This time breathing in as you come up the center line, breathing out as you push out. Go at your own pace. Tune into what you're noticing, what you're feeling. And shake out. Shake out the legs. Have a little move if you need to move around a little bit. And then back to your standing position. Actually, let's go a little bit wider to work on the hips a little bit. Let's do hip out to the side, hips back, out to the side, hips front. Gentle lift of the sternum as you come hips front. So nice big hip circles. Just breathing easy in and out through the nose. Change direction when you're ready. And then have a shake out. Balance on one leg, let the breath settle, and then just swing, just gentle swing, and then place the opposite leg down on the swing leg down. And then same thing, the other side, balance, swing. So you're lifting, you're flexing, you're rotating. And if you wobble a bit, you wobble a bit. Absolutely fine. Settle into a nice rhythm. Relaxing into the face, softening the brow, relaxing into the jaw, making sure you're breathing. Do one more each side. And then shake out. Good shake out. Shake out the ankle. Shake out the wrist. Floppy ankles, floppy wrists. Other side. Let's go back to our hip width apart. Just stand again for a moment. See how that feels. Balanced, tall through the spine. Checking in with the breath again. Any noticeable change in the breathing rate or the rhythm or anything from the first time we just checked in with it at the beginning of the session? Might be, might not be. So there's no right or wrong. Let's go back out, shoulder width apart, a little bit more with the rib cage now. I've been focusing on the rib cage quite a bit recently in my own practice as well. So hands together like that. Then overhead, keeping the shoulders down. So watch that you're not hiking the shoulders up, shoulders stay down. Also, excuse me, when you get to this position, watch that you're not leaning back. So keep the ribs in. So just come as high as you can without forcing anything back there. Shoulders down. So when you're in that position, then bending the elbows back. So you're bringing your hands behind the head, and then you can do the circle. So you've got, imagine you've got a big rope and you're just swinging that rope. Now watch that you're not crunching the neck either. So keep, the head will go with the movement, but really think about how that rib cage is working. So you get that side bend. Again, making sure there's no tension in the jaw. Everything's relaxed in the face muscles. You're breathing calmly in and out through the nose. And then you can go the other way around when you're ready. And shake out. Watch with your hands when we get to, when you start, remember we start there. As you come round, remember that you can then let the hand, you want to let the hands drop again behind. So yeah, that's fine. That's good to do that. But get that, see if we can go for like a bigger range of movement. Again, without overstressing the nervous system, without tensing up or anything like that. Let's do a bit of single arm one as well. This is quite nice. Now you can start to use the whole body. So you can go a little bit wider. And it's like he's just doing a big lasso. Get that little dip as you drop down a little bit. Maybe you can go a little bit lower. And then we can do the other side. Coordination, rhythm. And take a rest. Let's do a little bit of tapping, a bit of self-massage. Great for circulation, get this energy flowing, circulation flowing. Start on the chest bone here, so just on the sternum. You can either use fingers or knuckles. Anything, if you do anything that feels uncomfortable now, just stop. This is not about feeling uncomfortable, but you're just going down either side. If you want, you can add a little bit of a sound. So you could add a hum on the exhale. Remember, hums are good because they increase that nasal nitric oxide. Great for getting better oxygen uptake. So you can do a breath in and or you could do ah, or you don't have to do any sound. It's quite nice just to get some vibration. Let's take the two fingers there and find that spot underneath or slightly above the collar. Is there? No, there's the collarbone. In between that collarbones and like a little soft area there. So just get the fingers in there. So it's on the pec minor muscle. You're working on a laptop computer that can get very tight. So just give that a little bit of a massage in there. Make sure you don't tense everything else up with that as well. So just keep the shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. Breathing easy in and out through the nose. And change sides. If you feel any sort of like, if it's a little bit sorer, a little bit more sore, you could take a slightly fuller breath in, breathe into it, and then breathe out. So that's quite nice, but just go with what you feel. Sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. It's better. Shaker. Let's do some tapping down the arms. If you've got watch or rings on or anything like that, just be careful with this. So you're going to tap down the outside, turn over, and then, sorry, tap down the inside and then come up the outside and into the shoulder. And same thing. Turn over, shoulder. One more on this side. Feels good in the shoulder there. Shake out. Let's do the other side. And then shake out the arms, shake out the shoulders, and then just stand for a minute. Let's just go again. Shoulder over hip width apart, stand tall. See how that's feeling, how the breath is responding. Let's go lower back. So you're going either side of the spine. So you're not going on the spine, just either side of the spine, up and down. You can come into the glutes. And you're just going with fists on that. And then we're going to go down back and side of the legs. So you've got your hands on glutes, and then back and side behind the knees, and then up the inside of the legs. We can have a little bit of a knock in the hips. It's quite nice. And that hip crease in the hip fold. Same thing. Feels good. On this one, when you get to the knees, just stay behind the knees in the knee fold a little bit longer. So going down, and then just tapping behind the knees. And then you can carry on calves. And again, if you're doing this yourself and you find somewhere that you need to feel you want to stay there a little bit longer, stay there a little bit longer. Come back up. And then just gently on the belly. So you can do that one hand just going around on the belly, or two hands. Feeling that little bounce. Breathing. And then just shake out a little bit. Stand for a moment again. Just let the breath settle. So each exhale, you're just letting that breath go. Again, we're not forcing anything, but just notice that that exhale, no effort, just let go. It just completely lets go on that exhale. Again, we're not pulling the breath in. There's very little effort on that inhale, but just bring awareness to that exhale. Even though it's very light, it's very soft, it's just letting go. Passive exhale. Now we're going to turn that round and make the exhale active. So you're going to start off with, take a fuller breath in, and then keep it through the nose, but make that exhale active. So you're actively breathing out. And then stay at the bottom, and then let that inhale just flow back in. And then active exhale. Wait until you feel that inhale just flow back in. And if that breath is slower or longer or bigger, that's absolutely fine. But just focus on creating an active exhale. If it helps, don't know what is going on with my throat this morning. If it helps, there's all this breathing like. If it helps, use a candle's breath. So you can breathe in, you could go just to get the diaphragm working. Remember, when you breathe in, the diaphragm sits down a little bit. When you breathe out, it comes back into that resting position. So what we're doing when we're actively exhaling is just bringing that diaphragm back up. So if it helps just to get into the focus of doing that, just using that candle's breath out. Couple more. And then have a bit of a shake out. Bit of knocking. And we're really going to use that active breath in our buffalo position. We haven't done this for a while, actually. Again, this is a really nice one just to really feel the difference between using the breath to create energy, to get the heart rate up a little bit, and then feeling the balance when we bring that back down into just gentle, easy, rhythmic breathing. Slow it down. So remember the position. We can either go this position, so you're just resting and keeping the shoulders relaxed. Or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, we can go lower in this position, and then we can go into this position. Remember, we're lifting the chest, so I'm not down here. So we're lifting the chest. Do not force yourself into a position that you are not comfortable with. Challenge yourself with a position, but don't force yourself into any position. So start wherever you want to, and then we're going to do that active exhale. And this time we are going to do it with like blowing the candle out. So you're going to take a breath in, quick. So I'm doing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you've got no time. You don't have to breathe. You don't have to think about breathing in. The breath naturally flows in. So do 8 quick breaths and then just let the breath settle. And then we'll do that again. Breath in. 8 quick fire breaths. You're just pulling in the belly. You're feeling that diaphragm, pulling that belly back up. You're doing the active exhale. Let the breath settle. Going to do 8 more. So breath in. And then breath out. Coming up to standing. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then have a little shake. Shake out the legs. And we will finish there. So remember, always good just to check in with how your current state is, and then noticing how you can change things. You can energize a little bit, use that active exhale, use the breath of fire, just play around with it. Don't do anything that makes you feel dizzy or too lightheaded. Just do it gently. Remember, keep that face relaxed as well. Is always a good little test to make sure we're not overwhelming our nervous system. Brilliant. I will see you on Wednesday. Thanks always for joining. Have a good rest of the day. And hopefully there's a little bit of sun drifting somewhere today. Take care. Bye-bye.